Bam! What's up, Nitro Nation? Muggy Maniac here. Doing some wrenching. Got the Foo Fighters rocking there. Gotta be careful with that music. They might not let me upload it on YouTube. Anyway, peace in the Middle East. Hopefully one of these days. God willing. Anyway, so what's up, Nitro Nation, man? I know I said I wasn't going to do a video, but some stuff came up. I was thinking, talking to my daughter. Mom's came by. Unfortunately, the printer that she got one just like it. She couldn't get hers to work. I don't know, it's her internet, Wi-Fi, whatever. Anyway, mine works fine. Just needed ink. So, Mom brought me some ink cartridges. Black one, color one. These things are as much as this is not an expensive can. It's like a $30, $40 one or whatever. These cartridges are as much as the damn printer. But anyway, so, printer is, gonna get reloaded. Comes in handy, man. You can print pictures out on it. It's pretty cool. But anyway, doing some serious wrenching. You guys might get to see a little bit of the Muggy Maniac wrenching process. I don't do, you guys know I don't do a lot of videos on my wrenching and cleaning or anything, It's because it's real tedious, really meticulous, it's boring. You guys would fall asleep. Bad enough you guys got to put up with my hour-long videos. By the way, I guess you guys are getting used to me just running an hour video, man. I want to apologize, man. I don't mean to run them that long. I don't want you guys to have to, I know you guys want to watch my videos, but, try to short. Some guys, like the long videos. I get comments all the time. Hey, man, I don't mind you running an hour. And then I get the guys say, that I've known for a while. They're like, man, you're kind of long-winded, Muggy. And, I am. It is what it is. If you don't like my sometimes long videos, you always have the option to tune out, or, watch whatever you want and then bail out. I'm not holding nobody hostage. So, anyway, welcome all Muggy Maniacs, Buggy Maniacs, Truggy Maniacs, Monster Truck Maniacs. Yeah, if you got an LST, even though you still got to pull start the damn thing, or, if you got a Muggy, you're good because you can bump start that sucker as long as you don't got that garbage. I don't want to, that's kind of a strong word, garbage. They're not garbage. The low-C motors are not quality, man. Definitely. I don't give a fuck, excuse my language, what you do to them. Seal the back up, whatever. The Mac motors, I know, don't take this personal, Mr. Woogie, but, all those low-C motors, and even the OFNA motors. OFNAs actually are better than the low-C motors. Low-C motors are just, they're right there with dynamites. Any low-C motor made by low-C, and, Mr. Zal will even tell you, it's a workhorse. You can get it to run proper, but the quality's just not there. It is what it is. That's the honest to God's honest truth, man. I wouldn't put too much time or invest too much in it. Also, too, speaking of Mr. Woogie, shout out to him. Guys being consistent, uploading videos. Still trying to figure out, that GoPro. I don't know. Maybe I don't want to get one now. Seems like they're a headache, man. But I'm the same way. I'm not technologically, inclined. I'm pretty. When it comes to tech, I gotta have my daughters and kids help me out because I'm not that good at it. But anyway, doing some cleaning. I am almost done with the rear. Got the center diff. Techno is, first of all, look at this. This is a sexy whip. Okay? Mugen MBX7. sexy. What makes it even sexier is when you put a badass modified motor in the back. You know, Rex, LRP, .32, Pico. Although I think I'm going to keep the Pico in there. I think that I have decided. I mean, not the Pico, but the Novarossi modified 28.8 Rex. This is kind of why I designed this body. The Joker with the purple in and everything. It matches the head of the Novarossi. You know, I also did the blue for a reason. I can put the LRP .32, not this one, but when I get the other one modified, put that in there. You know, I mean, my wits pretty much get a fair shot at every motor, and then I eventually decide where I'm going to keep the motor, because I'm not going to keep swapping them around. So at this point, modified Pico, Techno, modified Novarossi 28.8, LRP, I mean not LRP, but Novarossi, Nova 28.8 modded. This is its home. Okay. Mugen, Novarossi, I think it's a good combo. This one's still up in the air. For now, I'm going to keep the Pico modified .28 on it. But I don't know. I might end up putting the Reds. Muggy Maniacs. I'm brain dead. I've been wrenching all. By the way, I had today off today. I've been wrenching in the cave today. Mom came by. Moms came by and visited. So Muggy, you know, I keep my room pretty clean, but I had to clean it. Do an extra clean job, you know, because, you know, Mom comes over. First thing she does, she's checking to make sure my bed's made. If my bed ain't made, Mom's all up in my business. She's checking, you know, my little kitchenette area here, you know. She's checking it out, you know. And I open my refrigerator. My Mom's like, oh, looks like you're running low on that, you know. You guys know what I'm talking about. Those of you that have moms or have a relationship with your mother, you know, I mean, moms are just like that. Moms are moms, man. Me and my mom are really close, so. Anyway, she had a doctor appointment, so came by and visited. She had to pick up the box. I kept my box, smart enough, I kept my box because she's taking hers back, like I said. She got an HP. Really nice one. So hopefully that works out for her. I told her problem is my mom has a $2,000 Apple laptop, which she doesn't even use all this stuff. She's an Apple person. You know, the iPhones and all that. So anyway, for whatever reason, it wasn't hooking up on the Canon. So she got this HP. So hopefully, you know, it works out for her. So, but anyway, wrenching all day. I want to get this knocked out. The longer it takes me to get this Techno torn down and put back together and cleaned up, the longer it takes me to brap. And I'm already ready to brap again. It's what, Wednesday? I gotta go on, man, I gotta get up at like 3 tomorrow morning, early for work, but, see if I get off early enough if I get this done. I'm anxious to run the, XTM. It's ready, dialed, endpoint set up. It's ready to rock and roll. I did have to do some little customizing as far as the wire or the brace that holds the pipe in place, because the one I had to bend another piece to make it to fit, because this pipe is really short. I usually don't run a short, 086, 9886. I've got the Pico pipe's shorter. I think it's shorter. Maybe it isn't, but I think it is. Yeah. By the way, people, clean your pipes, man. Don't let. I see some people that got some, excuse my language, again, some fucked up pipes, man. After every time I run, because they get really dirty, especially the shiny ones. Like, look at that. That sucker's bling bling. I clean my shit. You know the Muggy Maniac rolls. I don't play around, man. And kind of the base of this video is, if you're a person that it's just, there's two things. This is just my take, my opinion, whatever you want to call it. Opinions are like assholes. They're thinking everybody has one. But two main things in this hobby, man, and obviously because it made me think about it because of what I'm doing. Because a lot of times I'll look at my whip after I'm done running, I'm like, dang, man, that sucker's, I gotta clean that thing. And I don't look at it like I don't want to clean, but I'll be honest with you, I get that just, you know, I get it. I'm like, man, I wish I could just snap my fingers and the shit's clean again. But then I look at my other whips, that's why I don't get them all dirty at once when you know, my shit's clean, man. All these vehicles, except for this one, are like you can eat off them. So when I look at my other whips, I'm like, dang, man, that thing looks freaking sexy. The other thing looks badass. And then I look at the dirty Techno, I'm like, oh yeah, this shit's got to be clean. It's like my vehicle. It's like my whips are looking at it like the Techno's. I mean, the Mugen's like looking at Techno like, what, man? Your ass is dirty, stinking, filthy. You need a wash job. Matter of fact, you need to get out, stay away from me. I mean, if these vehicles could talk, that's what they'd be saying. Even the Mugen buggy over here would be like, dang, man, that Techno's nasty, man. Or, you know, the Muggy's talking shit like, man, look at me. I'm like, you know, almost 15 years older than the Techno, and I'm looking fresh. You know, I mean, but it's work, man. If you are not willing to put in the work and the time, and this is, you know, and another thing that brought this kind of made me start to think about what it really takes to get the results that you want out of nitro, or should I say, to really have fun. You can't have fun when your shit's breaking, when your shit's not running, your shit's not tuning. I mean, a lot of that is because you're not maintaining your shit. I don't know how more I can put that. I mean, a lot of the problems are of your own making because a lot of people just aren't. You know, and even the newbie that I was helping out yesterday. I'll talk about that in a second. I was telling him, you know, I was like, man, he was like, you're pretty, you know, like detailed and like seems like you're serious about this. I mean, he's looking at my cave and my setup and everything, and he's looking around at it, and he's looking and he's like, man, this guy's like, man, he's got all his little sections over here, you know, he's got the workstation here, you know, and he's got, you know, that's my little game, other special interest area. You know, he's got, you know, all his motors. He's looking at my stuff. He's like, man, this guy's got... And I have a system and a process to how I do things. That's just me. That's just the way I am. I'm real anal about my shit, man. I look at it. Whenever I look at this shit, I look at it in a lot of different ways. Yeah, this is cool. I got to do this. I mean, you know, I got to work on this. But it's not always that. A lot of times I just look at this stuff and I'm like, man, this is money. This is all dollar signs laying in my room. So for me not to utilize it, and for me not to use it, and for me not to get the most out of it, not just, how should I say, for the sake of, you know, going through, you know what I mean? I mean, some people just go through the motions. It's like they don't even really, I don't even know why they do nitro. You know, this newbie that I was helping out, you know, this guy was like, man, he's like, you made it motivate me, bro. He goes, man, I want this shit like this. This is cool. He was like, this is like one of the coolest, like, setups that I've ever seen. And I'm not, you know, I wasn't like, yeah, my shit's the best. You know, I don't really look at it that way. It's like, my shit's really cool. I look at it like, man, I invested a lot of time and energy and money into this stuff. I need to take care of it. I need to stay on top of it. You know, just today, too, I had time. I pulled all my stuff out from the walls. I cleaned, you know, because these floors are wood, which is another thing. I need to get me some of more of these pit mounts. I'm going to lay pit mounts. What I plan to do, I'm getting another cabinet, just, you know, real quick, not to get off subject, a one that matches that one, but it doesn't have the back part of it, and it has all these drawers. It's going to go next to it. I'm going to push everything over a little bit. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get these pit mounts. I'm getting a Techno one, a Novorossi one, and probably a Mugen one. Those three, and they're pretty big. You know, that's why when I've used them, I've cut a lot of pieces off them because they were overlapping my tables. And that's why you see all these pieces of them here and there on my tables. But anyway, I'm going to take 3 of them, and it should work, and I'm going to be able to cover the floor, diameter, the floor, all with these mats. Because what happens is when I'm wrenching, because these floors, you know, I try to work over carpets at least, but these wooden floors, when you're wrenching and you drop a little freaking little tiny screw, bolt, or whatever, man, that shit bounces. I've dropped stuff here, and it's ended up underneath my bed. And I don't find that shit till when I'm sweeping my room later. And I'm all pissed off because some of the hardware, you drop certain things, and it's like, man, I've got most part extras of a lot of stuff, but there's a certain little things, if you lose that, excuse my language, you're fucked. A perfect example. See this little mini, I don't know if you guys can see this. It's a little tiny set screw. This, you know where this goes? This holds these shock, I don't know what they're called, the bottom collars or cups, shock cups. They go through there, and what they do on the Techno shocks, they mount that so it doesn't move around or anything. So I don't have that. If I lose those, I'm screwed. So, you know, anyway, that's just something that I was thinking about. Man, I need to put some on the floor. Oh, another thing, check this out. Muggy Maniac, man, that's what I'm talking about. You gotta think out of the box sometimes. See these? Pretty cool, huh? I made that. What happened is these stools, I don't know what happened. Something got snagged or torn or something, and these had a hole in it. That one over there had a hole in it, so I'm like, okay, well, I'm not in the market to invest and buy new stools. I mean, they're not real expensive. So I'm like, let me get some of this. I got all this different colored, you know, electrical tape and whatever. Man, I did it myself. Check this out. It's freaking custom. When I showed my mom when she came over, she goes, oh, where'd you get those? I said, I made them. She goes, oh, that's cool. She likes this one better. She goes, I like this one better than that one. This one looks like a freaking Caltrans or something. But anyway, you know, that's just, you know, in this hobby, you know, it doesn't hurt to be creative. You know, I mean, I'm sure you guys have come up with your own little things. These stands, I made these. These freaking stands, you get them at it's like a Japanese 99-cent store. I think I mentioned it before. That's where I got those yellow motor stands. It's called Daiso. You can look on the internet too. Daiso. It's a 99-cent Japanese 99-cent store, but most of their stuff's $1.50, so it's not really 99 cents. But these little things here, these stands, I've got a few of them now. Matter of fact, I just got them in stock. I need to get me some more. They fold up. Okay? And these parts on the top, these parts here are, I've got extra ones. Yeah, they're these. They're like, you know, for the kitchen, for like setting hot stuff on. I've got one over there underneath Pico. But anyway, these, I cut them like this because when it folds up, you know, you can't put it in the middle, otherwise it won't fold. But anyway, I made them. I mean, to make, well, this is $1.50, these little pieces. These stands are like, I think, $3. So less than $5, I made these. Perfect nitro stands. I've got like 1, 2, 3, I've got like 4 or 5 of them. I need to go get me a couple more. So anyway, I mean, that's just something that I made those stands. You know? It's thinking outside of the box, being creative, you know? Making shit your own. So anyway, you know, I know the Mr. Woogie there. You know, hey, my suggestion, and this isn't just for him, anybody. As far as a buggy, my experience running buggies, I've ran modified motors in that Mugen buggy. I've ran, you know, .2021 stock in there. I obviously got the modified reds, which that's what that motor I got modified, and I basically bought that motor specifically for this buggy because obviously I wasn't going to put it in a truggy. Even though it's ran, it can push any one of these truggies, including this fat pig over here. But it's for the Mugen. what I wanted to say is, for a 8 scale nitro buggy, 0.28s, 0.32s, I ran them, you know, stock, modded. It's almost too much for a buggy. Especially if it's not a good quality buggy, then you're just asking for trouble. But anyway, for this thing can handle anything. But it just, the power band wise and all that, a 0.21, quality 0.21, stock or modded, I prefer modded, is what I feel runs best in any 8 scale buggy. So if you know, you got to experiment and try it yourself. You know, that's just my personal opinion. Again, they're like assholes. Everybody has one, and they sometimes stink. So that's my opinion. But anyway, I'm very opinionated, by the way, if you guys didn't notice that. So yeah, if you're lazy and you don't want to put in the time, you don't want to put in the two biggest reasons people quit and don't do nitro, or just can't do nitro, and they can say nobody says I don't want to do nitro. Who wouldn't want to do something that's real? The reason they're scared to do it is because they got the false impression that it's too hard. You know, the negatives are, you know, you got to clean them more because they get dirty. You know, those things are true, but it's not a negative. It just comes with, you know, the territory. You got to clean any RC, in my opinion. I don't care if it's electric or not. Thing gets dirty, you clean it. But a lot of people don't. So that makes the difference in people that last in 8 scale nitro. Most people don't last in 8 scale nitro, and that's why it'll get big and then it'll get small, and then people will do it, and because they're just either misinformed, uneducated. Sometimes they're just plain idiots, and they just don't have the DNA, like I've said before, to do something like this, which takes, you know, a little bit of brains. It takes, you know, learning, but I think a lot of it is just people are lazy. Lazy and have no patience. If you're lazy and you have no patience, which those are hard things to teach. You either have patience, or you can learn patience. It is, they say, a virtue. But the laziness part, I don't know if you can teach not to be lazy. What's the opposite of lazy? Well, I Googled it. The opposite of lazy is motivated, intense, sense of urgency. You know, like the Energizer Bunny Rabbit. Sometimes I'm lazy, like I said. I'm not saying that I'm not lazy, but when it comes to my shit and taking care of it and cleaning it and doing what I'm doing right now, I can't be lazy. Sometimes I do the bare minimum I do. If I'm tired as hell after I get done brapping, I know bare minimum, if I'm not going to get to my whip at all, without a doubt, no questions about it, I've got to pull the tank. I've got to take all the fuel out of it, clean it very thoroughly, okay? I've got to pull the motor out, clean it very thoroughly, get all the old fuel out of it, okay? Clean it thoroughly, like it is. Set the piston bottom dead center, as always. Put the muggy juice in it, after and all, whatever you use. Take out the radio tray. I don't really have to do that, but this is just me. Take out the radio tray, fully clean it, get all the dust and dirt out of it, clean it up. So, motor tray, tank, motor. Okay, also me, personally too, tires. Rims and tires, man. Shined up, cleaned up, and ready to rock and roll. I already inspected them. I have only one tire that's got to get a little bit of glue. Not really, I don't call it a flat, kind of a little blowout. I'm telling you, man, modified motors, these things, no matter what you do to them, they're going to be pizza cutters. All you can do is minimize them. It's just the rubber gets soft. I mean, as they get these badlands, get worn in, the rubber will get softer. I warned you guys before. The only other thing that I think that you could help to even decrease it a little bit less, change the inserts. The best inserts, foam inserts from what I've heard, I haven't tried them yet, but I will, are either AKA, but you have to get the right size, AKA and JC Concepts. Make good quality inserts. All the Proline insert, even the blue shit, it's all garbage. Shit blows out, doesn't last, it's cheap. Made in China shit. Well, I mean, all of it's made in China, but you know what I'm saying? So anyway, that's just the bare minimum, you know? And then, if I don't get to my vehicle for a few days, at least I know there's no fuel sitting in my tank, my engine's dirty with fuel still sitting in it, you know, none of that. You know, that is the bare minimum, because you can't let nitro fuel sit in anything over a period of time, because it's going to turn into moisture and it's going to rust and corrode your shit and just cause problems, no matter what. I don't care what fuel you use. There will be to a certain extent, deposits, because it will turn into moisture if you leave fuel in it, okay? And you don't use afterrunnel. But anyway, so that's what I do. So what you want to do is, what I do, the process I'm doing, which I'm showing you guys here, I start out here taking it apart. Like, these are the arms. Look how dirty these things are. I mean, I've seen worse, but they're pretty dirty. Take all the metal drive shafts out of it. This is the rear section. So I got left and right rear arm. We've got the gearbox. I always check my diff. The thing I like about Technos, unlike Mugens, the bottoms are open. I don't know why they do that. I think that's so that gear can sit down in the body. Techno, these are completely sealed, like the XTM's like that too. But anyway, rear shock tower. So because I can't, and all the hardware that I take off, I take my hardware. My daughter seen me doing this, she'd probably kill me, but I don't really drink tea. She gave this to me, it's for making tea. You know, you put like tea, raw tea in here, tea herbs or whatever, hot water, and then you put it in your a cup of hot water. So anyways, this comes in handy for my parts washer. So I heat up Simple Green, heat it up, get it nice and hot, you know, maybe a minute or two, just check. Put all my hardware, dump it inside of here, put this sucker, submerge it in there, maybe 5, 10, 15 minutes depending how dirty it is. Take it out, pop it in here, air it out, let it dry a little bit, and then I'll take it and I'll put it back in here, and then I'll dip it, and because that way it dries, because this shit takes, Simple Green takes a minute to dry. You can air it if you want, whatever, but Simple Green leaves, it doesn't really leave a film, but it, you know, it doesn't completely evaporate everything. So what I just do personally is I just dip it in rubbing alcohol. That evaporates really quick. Put it back in here, kind of like a double clean, and then I just marinate it with the old blaster, industrial strength silicone with Teflon, people. It's all about the Teflon, the graphite, the silicone, all that combination of silicone. That's what you want. Plain silicone is okay, it works. WD-40 doesn't really do anything. I don't even use WD-40. That's like for, you know, hinges and shit and rusty shit or whatever. I never have ever used WD-40 on nothing. If that's all you got, then that's all you got. But, you know, unless you live on an island, most places anywhere has some kind of silicone. This big bottle, by the way, is $4. Home Depot, and it's got Teflon in it. I like this because this shit is nice and just shiny. I mean, when you spray it, look. See that? Leaves you a nice foam and just really marinates it. Now, if you don't want it, depending on what you're using on, I do that mostly on only certain things. But this is good. CRC, Walmart, I think this is like $3. You know, multi-use silicone lubricant, and this is not as bling bling shiny. It works good, but it doesn't leave a lot of film. You know what I mean? That slickness. So anyway, what I do with my bigger parts is in the microwave. Ooh, I get some of this. Like I do a 50-50 mix on my simple green, 50%, 50%. See this? Now depending, if it's real dirty, sometimes I might have to scrub it. But by doing this in the hot simple green, now Adam Drake does it, but he has one of those cool ass, it's like a jewelry cleaner. It's like a vibrating parts cleaner deal, and you put the simple green and water in it, it heats up. I think it's digital. They're like, I priced them, they're like 80 bucks, less than 100 bucks, and it vibrates all the dirt and shit off it. This, though, if you get it nice and hot, works well. And I let that set for a while. Sometimes I might have to actually see how it's already starting to lift the dirt. If I let it set there long enough, sometimes it'll all come off. I won't have to touch it. But if it's pretty heavy, then what I'll do is I'll just take a toothbrush and just kind of scrub around in it. But see, because of the way this is apart like this, I'm not going to get any corrosion buildup because I'm able to get to everything. I won't do it with this, obviously. And then I will set this whole piece in there too. You know, so. And then once I get done cleaning all that, this I'll just kind of spray a little bit around it, and then I'll scrub it with a brush, and then I'll air it off, and then I'll hit it with some rubbing alcohol, because that'll dry quick, and then I'll silicone the hell out of it. And my discs are still pretty good, so yeah, so I clean all that. Once I got that all cleaned, you know, then everything's cleaned, all the hardware is all clean. You know, then I can start putting her back together. If you have CVDs like these, you're going to want to put, just take your finger and put some kind of grease in there, inside of here, in the inside of the cups. You want to keep these greased. On the rear, you can or you don't have to. I mean, I know Adam Drake mentioned he does it in the back because it just gives him better bite by not greasing the back, I guess. You know, that's what he said anyway. But, so, anyway, that's a little bit of my cleaning. Like I said, I don't really get too in it. You know, I do this cleaning like this, and then, bam, I obviously clean my bearings out. Shocks are good to go. How I check my rear shocks, I use fit, by the way, I use, what do I even do with it? I use 50 weight in the rear. Low C 50 weight rear shocks. Truggy shock, in your truggy, my truggy. And I use, depends, 40 to 45. Usually I use the purple. Sometimes I use, you know, depending, 45 in the front. What I do when I take my shocks apart, mine are set up so I have like a real slight rebound. I just kind of press them down, make sure they're still rebounding. When they're not rebounding, that's when it's either time to change the oil, or, you know, maybe you might need to add oil. So anyway, then I go over to here, we do all the washing, the cleaning, the siliconing, and then we get it all done. And then we start putting her back together. So I've got the diff all the way to the rear. Front end still has to be done, but I will get this done tonight. No problem. I'm almost done with the front ends. I'm going to start putting it together in a minute. Anyway, yeah, so I mean, there is no shortcuts in RC. Nitro. The only shortcuts, and this is not just Nitro, I believe there's no shortcuts in life. Job, relationship, whatever. You know what I mean? I mean, the only shortcuts is your work ethic. Do you have any kind of work ethic? That's the question. And you got to ask yourself, what's your work ethic? I don't know. It'll show when you run your shit, if you run your shit. But like I said, most people just rather run their mouth and not run anything else. I mean, I look around in the tube. I don't see very many current running videos of 8-scale nitro, anything worth watching. I don't want to watch no fucking Traxxas bullshit. Who cares? I mean, I'm talking, you know, decent shit. Even Losi's. So anyway, this newbie, right? This guy's got a, what is it? Losi 8 2.0 race kit. He's got the old race kit. And that thing is totally neglected to hell. The guy tried to convert it into a monster truck. I mean, it's crazy how you see people just butcher and bastardize a lot of these platforms. And, you know, and some of these platforms are great platforms, but then there's a lot of platforms that I believe are iconic, I guess, is for lack of better words. Like, look it. This is an LST, okay, which to me is a great platform. But it's not iconic. You see what I'm saying? There's iconic and there's great. You know, it is a great platform. But isn't a Losi LST iconic? No, it's not iconic. Okay? Not by any means. But, I mean, is that a bad thing? No, it's just, it's not, it is what it is. You know, it's not iconic. Okay? I mean, and that's, I'm just keeping it real. You know, that's the truth. What do all these fucking pop-ups keep? I mean, look, that's a sick, I mean, it looks badass. It looks like a muggy to me because it's a little fat pig. You know, the only problem is, you know, you gotta fucking pull start that fucker. And that's the bad part about it. You know, other than that, you know, they're pretty, you know, they're little pigs. A little beefy. I mean, but there you go. There's the underneath. You ain't bump starting shit on that thing. I mean, you probably could make something. I know they make a bump box for, what is it, one of the Traxxas where it's kind of, you know, I mean, and this guy, you know, and the reason I'm showing you guys this is because, you know, I see people just either take something that's iconic or even something like this that's a great platform, and what they do is they alter it and change it. And I was like, man, they just don't understand. I guess they don't know, you know, and that's what it is. It's just ignorance, you know. They don't know what they have. Okay? And look at, and here, check this out. How about this? Look at that. Now this is iconic. Well, not anymore, but it was. Do you see what's wrong with this picture? And this is probably the cleanest muggy, and I've seen a lot of them, that I've ever seen. I mean, this thing is immaculate. Clean. But this guy, excuse my language again, fucked it up and converted it into an E word. And I seen this and I almost fell out of my chair. Now, I don't know what, you know, that's like the epitome of, you know, I mean, he took something that is iconic because these muggies are very rare. LSTs there's LSTs everywhere. Muggies are very, very rare and hard to find. And if you do, they want a lot of money for them, and they're really not in this good a shape. This one is the cleanest looking freaking muggy I've ever seen. And the guy turned it into an E word, man. I'm like, what the fuck? Crazy. I mean, look at that. This thing is clean. Look at it. It's a Virgin. Look at the bottom chassis. Brand new. But look. Turn it into a fucking E word. What a waste. That's like I said, blasphemy, sacrilege. That's like, I mean, and in some states this should be punished. In the Nitro Nation, this is punishable by 50 lashes with a fucking wet noodle or something. Why would you take an iconic platform like this and just totally ruin it? And I sent him an email thing. Hey, is this a conversion? I mean, he's obviously going to say, oh yeah, it is. I'm going to say, why? And he's going to be confused. Why did you ruin this thing? Fucking waste. You know, so this guy, this newbie that I'm helping out, he has, you know, an old school Losi race kit. Okay, it's got the aluminum shock towers, you know, I mean, it's just been sitting for like 2 or 3 years, I believe. It has an old Rex Legend .28 seal back motor, and I was excited because this is probably the cleanest, I mean, not the cleanest, I shouldn't say that, but this is the best quality, even though it's fucking needs a full restoration. Best quality platform that anybody's brought me so far, and I've been working on a lot of vehicles in the last, you know, a few weeks. This week I've been busy. You know, I got more guys coming up. Most guys are bringing Traxxases and, you know, these, you know, Exceeds that I've never heard of. I mean, I've never seen before. You know, the Sen one that I worked on. Some old school XTMs. I even got an Offna. I got a Savage coming this week. I mean, But this guy actually had something with it, not a pull start, because all those other things are all full start, sealed backplate. It's got to be at least, because it says Rex on it. I forgot what it's called, but it's a .28, an old Rex .20. It's not a Rex Legend. I forgot the name of it. But this thing's at least probably about 5 or 6 years old. Well, it's got to be older than that. It's probably at least 10 years old. And I've never seen this motor. But I fired it up, got it started. It's hard to tune it because it's so, I mean, I looked at the crank. The crank looks the same color as this chassis. I mean, your crank's supposed to be like steel color. The crank in that Nova Rossi looks like, that's how long it's been sitting. I told him, if you want me to get it tuned and get it running, I'm going to have to rebuild the whole thing, period. You know, so we'll see what happens. He needs to get a receiver, battery pack, an actual receiver that works, and a new radio before I even start working on it. So we'll see. Like I said, it's good quality, man. It's just somebody tried to convert it into a monster truck. Imagine taking a Losi race kit and then trying to convert it into a monster truck. That's crazy. Like, I don't know what it is, obsession with people with monster trucks. I don't get it. I mean, they're cool looking and everything, but, you know, other than that, I mean, they don't handle for shit. Definitely. There isn't a monster truck out there that handles, corners, and performs worth a shit. It's not what they're just made to go straight, a little left and right. You can't hit a turn and full throttle and get on it. That thing will flip. I mean, they're just straightforward and reversed, running over shit, maybe jumping. I mean, it's more for this, you know. I mean, the whole thing of monster trucks have always been, like, you know, the Monster Jams, Bigfoot, and all that, is going over shit. That's it. The crawling thing, you crawl up shit. That's it. And I've had tons of four-wheel drives, real ones, and well, that was okay to go, you know, up in the mountains, you know, where I live. We have mountains like 2 hours away. Go up in the mountains, go 4x4ing. That was cool, climbing over shit. Yeah, that was cool. You got a monster truck, man, you can run over shit. That's cool. But other than that, that's it. You ain't getting sideways. You ain't doing no motocross action shit, jumping over shit, laying it sideways, getting into a turn, hovering the front end. Not on no damn monster truck. Yeah, you pull wheelies, that's it. So what? I mean, if that, yeah, like I said, to each his own. If that does it for you, then hey, man, go for it. Just remember, you're dealing with pull starts and rotor starts. That's it. So anyway, that's all I got. Just wanted to share that with you guys. So, man, you know, I can't emphasize it enough, man. And then the newbie even told me, this brand new guy, I said, you know, one of the reasons why people quit, he said, well, I can already tell you, and this guy is brand new, doesn't know anything about nitro or RC at all. And he's saying, from what I've seen from friends of mine and other things, is just not so much tuning the motor, is that they don't want to learn to tune it, and they don't have the patience to tune it. Okay? And two, they're just lazy fucks. This is a brand newbie. Doesn't know shit about RC. That's what he's seen. Whether it's YouTube, whether it's friends, and what he's experiencing with his, you know, little 10-scale road thing, and that, yeah, man, it's just, a lot of it's just lazy. And I'm like, bingo, hit it right on the head. This is the new guy. You know? And that's true. People are just lazy, excuse my language, fuckers. You're lazy, just do yourself a favor, save your money, get out of nitro. You have a better chance of winning the lottery than you do of being successful. And I mean that as far as getting a properly tuned and run vehicle and enjoying it and just having fun and not, you know, having tons of frustration. I mean, there's going to be minimum. Sometimes it gets frustrating, like anything. That's normal. But, you know what I'm talking about. But you have very, very little to no chance, and I say zero chance, of anything positive success in nitro or even lasting if you're lazy and don't have any patience. Period. End of discussion. That's all I got. So anyway, oh, Mr. WizKid, Nitro WizKid there, my foreign brother from another mother. This body, if you look at the XTM body, this original body, remember I was telling you about that, it's not really a leopard print. Like you said, to emulate that, you know, you can, looks like I said, they took plastic or something, not a sponge, not a swab, not a cotton. I would experiment on, you know, excess plastic that you get when you cut off bodies before you just do it. I mean, I did it on my other two whips, and it came out okay, but it still didn't come out like that. You know, I mean, this one I did it like that, and then I also did, that's the first one I did. The blue one, which I couldn't get that color of that blue of the XTM. But anyway, XTM's ready to rock and roll. Like I said, Mr. Woogie, here's your bump box. Change your plugs, man. Do yourself a favor. Dean's gold plugs. Do not run. This is just the that blocks the circuit, or I mean, you know what I'm saying? Loops the circuit. If you pull this out, don't lose this. If you pull that out and you lose the piece or you don't have it, it won't. The bump box won't even work. But anyway, this one is specifically only for the Muggy. But don't use Tamiya plugs. These plugs melt. They give you problems. They suck ass. Don't even use them. And the only thing, like I said, the only setback is these little tabs in here that you put in there. I had to drill different ones in here because of, you know, for the Muggy. But you're going to have to open up the box and, you know, you got to move these back and forth and wherever you're going to put them at first. You know, it's kind of how this thing works. But, you know, I mean, for what you pay for it, I paid like less than 50 bucks. And it has dual motors. Oh, and by the way, if you want to use LiPo, that's on you. Take the chance of that thing melting, blowing up, burning down your whole fucking shop, which is, you know, that nice cave. Imagine coming there and the thing's fucking burned down. I probably wouldn't keep it anywhere inside. Someplace in a safe box, outside of your garage, outside of your house, whatever. I don't run LiPos and I never will. And these bump boxes, these Dynamite bump box, 3,000 of these Venoms is way more than enough. Starts my fucking LRP .32 completely cold. Okay? And this is a brand new motor with tons of pinch. It's not even broken in yet, really. Okay? Novarossi, same thing. Starts it right up. All my motors, I never have a problem running 3,000 or more. You can get 5,000, whatever, but the 3,000 is enough. 3,000 milliamps, these Venoms, they're like 30, you get two of them for like 60 bucks, I think, or 50 something. And, more importantly, I won't ever have to worry about this shit fucking blowing up and burning down my room, the house, whatever. That's not a chance that I will take. You guys do what you want. Some people run LiPos and never have problems, but there's always that chance. I don't want any chance. It's the same thing when I run my switches now, when I plug my battery in my receivers and my whips, there's no switch, there's no bypass plug. It goes from the battery, the plug comes out of the battery, goes straight into my receiver. No chance whatsoever of any failure that way, okay, or any possible chance of something going wrong. Okay, that's just me. If you guys, like I said, do whatever you want. Okay. You've heard all the stories. You can YouTube all the LiPo batteries, man. It's like that commercial. You guys remember that Eastwood insurance commercial with that chick, hot-ass chick, almost naked, pulls up in a Ferrari. This guy's in the middle of the desert. And she obviously says, "Hey, mister, would you like a ride?" And anybody would like, hell yeah. But, I mean, even though we know what we would have done if this happened to any of us. I know what I would have done. But anyway, the point of it is that he asked her, "Do you have insurance?" Or Eastwood, whatever the insurance company was. She says, "No." He said, "Well, that's a ride or that's a chance I just can't take." And the lady took off. Now, I don't care what insurance she had or if she had, I don't care if she stole a car, I don't care if she robbed the bank. If she said you need a ride, a hot chick like that, I would be in there like I'd be over on it like a hobo on a hot dog, people. Come on, keep it real. But anyway, my point is, it's a chance I can't take. I've thought about lipos, and, you know, I'll just have one for this box, or maybe I'll just have one for my radio. I won't have any lipo in my, under this roof, ever. Okay, and I won't even own one. Period. So, I mean, ask Mr. Za. He'll tell you, you know, he don't use lipos either. You know? And there's a reason. So anyway, that's all I got. Well, there was almost another hour video. Anyway, you guys keep it busy. Keep it real. If you're lazy, if you're somebody that just, you know, doesn't want to put in the effort, you know, and you don't have any patience, just trust me, man. Don't waste your time. You have 0 chance of success in 8-scale nitro. Period. End of story. So take that for what it is. But look at this body, man. This thing looks freaking crazy looking. The Techno, that's the Techno body. That's what makes this thing unique. Thing looks like a freaking fish. Reminds me of like a fish body. That's what makes it unique, man. That's why I love this thing, man. Look at that. Only whip of its kind, man. Look at that chassis. Crazy ass chassis. Oh, by the way, I did say the difference, only difference in the Technos is the actually the buggy chassis is wider. I don't know why, but it is. The buggy chassis is not much, but it's wider. The trucky chassis is thinner. The length, that's where you get 48.3, and it's from the nose to the back of the wing. And the same thing on the buggy. The buggy's a 48.4, which I think the wings push back a little bit more on the buggies. I think for more downforce because of the buggies, because it's not as, you know, actually the chassis is smaller. So anyway, so look, check it out. We just let that soak a minute. Damn, look at that. I don't even think I'll have to scrub anything. Now you guys see them when I put them in, before I put them in. These things were dirty. I'm going to scrub them a little bit. And then we're going to base them with, marinate these babies with silicone. I mean, look inside. Can you guys see that? That's all the shit that came off of these arms. So it's just, that's just something, if you guys want to do it, that's fine. Do whatever you want. Don't use anything, any other chemical, only Simple Green. Or you will, excuse my language, fuck your shit up. I've tried to, in the past, use other cleaners, and it'll fade your aluminum. It's just, Simple Green's the only thing that won't hurt your plastics, won't fade your aluminum, won't hurt anything. 50-50 is plenty. Even if it's real greasy, your shit's real grimy and dirty, just get the water hotter, that's all. The hot water and the mixture of the Simple Green, shit just comes right off, man. Anyway, so that's all I got, people. Muggy Maniacs out of here. Like I said, you know, sorry about that last video. That last actually 20 or 15, 20 minutes was like, you know, that was me and the newbie. Trying to teach the guy, you know, he really is eager to learn. He wants to learn, so... You know, we'll say, I mean, talk is cheap. A lot of people say they want to learn and want to do this and do that. And then at the end of the day, I mean, they're, you know, not doing nothing but, you know, putting their head in the sand or you know, talking out the side of their face, you know. People are doing too much talking and not enough brapping. So if you're going to talk about it, be about it. Okay, otherwise, like I said before, shut the fuck up. Pay attention. Take notes. Don't take my word. Go out. Go watch Adam Drake. Go watch John Bodegel. Go watch Mr. Zal's older videos that he has posted. He's got tons of them, you know. But just don't, you know, sit on your ass and do nothing and expect that, you know, the shit's gonna do itself. It's gonna clean itself. That ain't happening, people. So anyway, we're gonna get the next on deck is the LRP32, man. I'm very, very curious to see how this is going to on. And I'm still taking my time. I'm thinking, I'll make sure there's nothing I didn't tighten, nothing's loose. I have no error in this old school platform because this .32 will work this thing. So, anyway, that's all I got. Okay, Woogie, let me know when you get your bump box. Shout out to, you know, the Whiz Kid, the Nitro Whiz Kid, you know who you are. Shout out, you know, to again, Mr. Raja 111. Congratulations on that 100K, man. You earned it. You worked hard, and you still work hard all the time. And you know, shout out to you know, to the Nitro Bird, to you know, Whip Ass. You know, haven't heard from you guys. I don't know what you guys are up to. The two guys that I hear from a lot, recently, and I don't, and maybe you guys are just busy. I'm sure you guys have lives, and I'm just saying, the guys that are hey, it's not. Remember the turtle and the tortoise and the hare. You know what wins the race? It's not the fastest. It's not the best. It's not the smartest. It's the person that's the most consistent in everything. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. If you're consistent at everything, not just your running your mouth, but consistent at your work ethics and the things that you do and how you go about what you do, you got to have some kind of structure to what you're doing. You guys might think this is systematic. Well, it is, kind of, in a way. That's just how I am. This is me. You don't have to be as anal and OCD as the Muggy Maniac is. This is just one example. But the bottom line is, at the end of the day, what are the results are you getting when your shit's running? Are you getting that tune, the way that are you getting your vehicle running the way that you feel, and you should know by now it's performing to its potential. I'm still not even satisfied with any of these things running like perfectly. I don't ever think you can run them perfect. There's always something tweaked, something to tune, something to try. I want a little bit more of that. You know what I mean? That's what's the great thing I love about this. There's no tweaking, tuning on frickin' E-word. It's just, fast and that's it. That's all. Gearing and stuff like that, but still, it's not like this. This is the real deal Holyfield, people. Real deal. Okay? This ain't no, just throw shit against the wall and see if it sticks or just wing it. That's not how nitro works, people. If you try it, hey, let me know how that works out for you. She's looking really sexy too, man. I want to run my buggy again. I love my buggy, man. I don't even know if I'll get another buggy. There's nothing really compares to this, no matter what. Even a brand new top-of-line Kyosho, there's still a lot of upgrades you got to do to those things. That this thing has everything, man. This is like all the bells and whistles that you would need for bashing. Now, the only thing that this would the new platforms that have on my old OG right here is for race setup. I could race this thing, but I don't think it's updated enough because it's so old to really, but I could be wrong. I never know. You never know until you race it, right? It could still probably, whip some ass. But I need to put it back to its brand new form. I still got to get that chassis, and I'm going to change the shocks, and that's about it. Then the thing will be brand spanking new from the chassis up, because I replaced everything else, all the plastics and everything. So anyway, enough of my babbling. That's all I got, people. So keep that in mind. You guys that are, looking for, used motors, if you have any questions about anything, you guys know my deal on that. Just upkeep your shit. Don't be lazy, people. Don't just, rest on your laurels, man. You're only as good as your last game. So how was your last game? If it wasn't that good, well, maybe you need to work on that. So anyway, I don't know. My last game was okay, but I think I could be better. My last rap session was decent, but we're journeying into a whole nother venture with the Muggy over here. XTM with the LRP .32, man, that's complete experimental, and we'll see what happens. You guys will see it first. You guys will be with me when we get that thing fired up and we start running it here soon. So anyway, that's all I got, people. I'm out. Peace.